Happy New Year! How are you? It is Wednesday. It is lunchtime. So let's have a little lunch, a little chat. But today we're going to talk about what's your word for this year. So there is a colleague of mine. His name is John Stafford. He is always talking about his word for the year, for the month. And so a couple of years ago, I kind of adopted doing that because I want to have kind of a mantra or something that aligns with, funny enough, something that kind of carries me through that whole year. And so I started doing words of the year. So I've had words like abundance. I've had congruency. I've had a bunch of different words that aligned with kind of where I was. And just kind of made sense with where everything was flowing for that year, that month, whatever. So I would say last year, I actually started incorporating words for the month that aligned, funny enough, with my word for the year. So do you guys do words of the year? I do. So my word of the year is align, right? And for me, align was just kind of perfect because in 2025, I did a lot of shedding. Not those last 20 pounds I need to lose, but I did a lot of shedding. So for me, it was, unfortunately, I got rid of, let me not say it that way. I dissolved my team. So I no longer have a team. I'm now a single agent, but it was because we all needed to grow. It was a way, and everybody is thriving right now. So it was perfect timing. There were some family members I had to cut ties with. There are friends I had to cut ties with. So a lot of shedding happened in 2025. So for 2026, I wanted to make sure that this year was about choosing with complete intention. Why am I choosing this? Does it fit, right? So my word for 2026 is align, which I've said like 4 times during this live. I've said it like 4 times. So with that, I ask myself questions every time I think about something. Does this whatever align with my business values? Does this respect my boundaries that I've set? Does this align with who I'm becoming? As well as, is this something that protects my energy and my time and my money? Like, those things have to be considered when you're looking to do a word for the year, right? There's so much stuff that I have to do on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, weekly basis, that, getting up early so that I can do the things that I need to do, whether it's working out, whether it's getting started on paperwork, whatever it is, it just makes sense. So doing a word of the year completely changed everything. So I encourage you to do a word for the year. And if you can think about a word that literally, I don't want to say it again, but aligns with who you are or who you're becoming, right? That just makes it even better. So let me talk about why I chose that, as well as I'll tell you what my word for January is. So my mantra for the year, by the way, is if it's not aligned, it's not mine. Meaning I am releasing people, places, and things that don't align with my goals, that don't align where I'm headed, and don't respect my boundaries, and play with my time, my money, and my energy. Don't do that. So I wanted to make sure that I was choosing something that was going to take me or help me get to where I am, or something that was just going to, help me focus on where I was going. And align was just that word that made sense. So for me, when I picked align, the next thing I needed to do was figure out a roadmap, like what the other words for the months are going to be. And so my word for January is clarify. Isn't that amazing? I thought so. So my word for the year is align. My word for January is clarify. So I needed to figure out, like, what's the foundation? Like, this is a foundational month, right? It's the first of the year, and everybody is, trying to work on their goals for the year. Everybody wants to, meet these high, everybody has lofty goals, and including myself. So I figured that this month was going to be foundational. We were going to wipe the slate clean. We were going to start at the end of last year, I started decluttering. And so I've continued doing that and just having this idea of what makes sense to stay and what doesn't. Yeah, it's been a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's been a lot, but in a good way. So this month, just like I said, has been foundational. It's, what is the vision? Who am I now? What is no longer welcomed with where I'm going and where I am right now? So it's about goal setting. It's about systems, it's about people, habits, right? Just making those things clear. So clarify was just the perfect word to go with align. I've kind of revamped my workout schedule. I've revamped my eating. I'm revamping my business. Y'all will start seeing, like on my posts and stuff, things starting to look a little different because we're doing some work behind the scenes. Of course, it's because that's what we do. Because things got to change. You can't stay the same, right? You have to continually evolve with everything. So my word for the year is align. And my word for this month is clarify. What's your word for the year? Have you started thinking about that? What does that look like for you? And if you need some help figuring that out, please feel free to contact me. And as always, join me every Wednesday for lunchtime and a little real estate. But today we're going to talk about your goals. So I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all soon.